Oh, my goodness. Short.
Air ball.
Everybody else can do their job, and he hasn't been that number one option.
And I think he's really got to, and Westbrook, for some reason, double team.
Running two. That one deflects, taken by Russ.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Down goes LeBron. Russ loses.
Russell Westbrook might be the most athletic point guard that we've ever seen. But when it comes to basketball IQ, all right, he's a genius at making the dumbest possible decisions at the worst possible times. Now, this is probably why KD left. This is why fans get tired. And let's just break it down. All right, look, let's just keep it a buck. I mean, Russell is like pure passion balled up in one, person. Super fast, super athletic, put you in the rim. He has that intensity that most coaches love. He plays with a tenacity that's unmatched. But at times, he's got to be one of the most boneheaded dudes that I know, man. And over the years, I've looked at him and I'm like, man, if he would just work on this game, work on some of the intangibles, right? You can tell that he works on his body. You can tell that he keeps himself in optimal shape. But I know that he's not working on his actual skill set, at least not to the point where it should be, And I feel like that's been part of the problem, why he hasn't really developed from an IQ standpoint on the court. All right, but let's really get into the nooks and crannies of why I believe he has one of the worst IQs in the NBA right now. All right, Russell Westbrook's career has been marked by impressive individual stats. All right, he's a triple-double king, But certain aspects of his playing style have drawn criticism regarding efficiency and decision-making, just like the other night when he, missed that layup and fouled the guy in the last 0.1 seconds. Here's a detailed analysis focusing on, the key metrics. So we're going to talk about usage rate. Now, this is a metric that estimates the percentage of team plays used by a player. While on the court, Westbrook has consistently posted high usage rates, peaking at 42.5% during the 2016-2017 season. And such a high usage rate indicates that a significant portion of the team's offensive plays involve him. All right? Now, turnovers. Dude, he's averaging about 4 turnovers right now. But in that same 2016-2017 season, Westbrook had a turnover rate of 12.2%. While his high usage contributes to elevated turnover numbers, the combination suggests challenges in maintaining control during extensive ball handling duties. All right. So basically, whenever he got the ball, it's a real big gamble. It's like he sees things that we don't see, which is usually the problem. It's like he has a one-track mind. When his mind is made up on something, you can't deter him from it. And so usually that ends up in him making a boneheaded play a lot of the times. Now, I'm not going to act like he has never done nothing good and never has, been the reason why teams win. We know he's great, all right? But we just got to look at it for what it is. Now, if we look at Westbrook's true shooting percentages, kind of fluctuated throughout his career. In the 2017-2018 season, he recorded a true shooting percentage of 52.4%. Now, this is below league average, which means that it's basically due to suboptimal shot selection, Now, when it comes to point guards, a higher assist-to-turnover ratio, it indicates effective playmaking with fewer mistakes. Now, Westbrook's ratios have been moderate. In the 2017-2018 season, he averaged 10.3 assists and almost 5 turnovers per game, resulting in an assist-to-turnover ratio of approximately 2.1. Now, while this showcases his playmaking ability, the relatively high turnover rate indicates that there's some room for improvement in ball security. Westbrook has led the NBA in total turnovers multiple times. Notably, he committed 438 turnovers during the 2016-2017 season, which is the second highest single-season total in NBA history. You hear me? NBA history. Who wants to be known for having the most turnovers, or almost the most turnovers in NBA history? Additionally, he is consistently ranked in the top 5 for turnovers in several seasons, all right? Highlighting a recurrent issue with ball control. Everybody know, man, it's a lot of boneheaded plays when it comes to Westbrook. He will lose the ball. It is what it is. Now, while Westbrook's individual statistics are impressive, translating them into team success has been inconsistent. All right. His high usage and turnover rates combined with less than ideal shooting efficiencies have sometimes hindered team performance. Like, for instance, back when he was with the Lakers in the 2021-2022 season, both him and LeBron James were among the league leaders in turnovers, contributing to the team's offensive struggles. We all know Lakers Westbrook was just abysmal, all right? And, you know, in the beginning, I was like, it was a boneheaded move to bring Westbrook there. But I didn't like how they treated him. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like how they treated him. I felt like they put too much of the Lakers' issues on Westbrook, all right? Now, which made me, you know, kind of a Westbrook apologist over the last few years. He kind of redeemed himself with the Clippers. You know, he showed us that he could be an integral part of a good team. And even here with the Denver Nuggets, we see that he can actually be a good player. It's just that sometimes I think he gets back into his, you know, OKC days, thinking he's the leader of the team and things like that. He kind of just does things that just doesn't make any sense. He goes off on a tangent, you know. I think his ego gets to him sometimes. And you got to be able to tame somebody like Westbrook. It's not that easy. It's very difficult to do so. But look, everybody has been talking about what happened during Jokic's career night. Stephen A. even had to, you know, basically say that this dude is just kind of stupid. It just is what it is. And that's probably why KD left. We're going to dive into that a little bit more.
Bottom line is that kind of play, those kind of mishaps, unfortunately, I'm not talking about the missed layup. I'm talking about the decision-making. The decision-making is something that has plagued him throughout his career. It plagued him. A lot of people thought that was one of the reasons Kevin Durant left OKC to begin with, for crying out loud. We know his talent in terms of how great he's been throughout his career and stuff like that. But when the decision-making, when it's questionable, that's not a surprise. That's something that's religiously been associated with him. It's just that we haven't had to say that since he's been a Clipper and now that he's a Denver Nugget. But OKC, obviously Houston, of course the Los Angeles Lakers, that has been a question mark about Russell Westbrook. Certainly not his talent, his work ethic, his tenacity. Nobody would ever question that about Russell Westbrook, which is why he's a Hall of Famer.
You know, I got to agree with Stephen A. on this point. I mean, we look at Russell Westbrook's career, you know, he's done a lot of great things at OKC, but his time with KD was kind of tumultuous, you know, especially during the playoffs. I remember, you know, when one time KD was just clapping, calling for the ball, like, give me the ball. And Russell Westbrook was trying to be a hero. He was trying to do his thing. He was the number one option in his head, you know, which is sometimes what gets him in the situations that he's, you know, typically in. He has like a hero complex, in my opinion. You know, he wants to be the one that saves the day, all right? And like I said, that leads to bad decision-making most of the time. Once KD left, you know, we saw Russell Westbrook blossom into a stat padding machine, okay? And look, I'm not taking nothing away from triple-double Russ because what he did was amazing. Like, it's very hard to average a triple-double every night. So it's not that I'm diminishing those efforts. But like we said, a lot of times he still led the league in turnovers. You know, there's a lot of, you know, good that comes with the way he plays, but there's a lot of bad. And, you know, with certain type of personnel, Russell Westbrook is probably like the greatest thing ever. Like when Paul George was on the team, you know, Russell Westbrook was great, according to Paul George.
I remember in Oklahoma, and the craziest thing, what I told the team was like, one thing about Russ, he had a special relationship with everybody on the team. He would have a conversation with Steve-O about New Zealand stuff, like rugby, and then he'll have a conversation with me about fishing. Then he'll have a conversation with Jeremy Grant on like anime. He had a connection with everybody on the team where you get on the floor, it was chemistry. Usually the star players, they not but like they got a special relationship with maybe 3-4 guys, and then the rest is just like, oh yeah, that's my teammate. But Russ was like, yo, that's my boy, like everybody was his boy.
When Russell Westbrook went over to the Washington Wizards, he was great with the Washington Wizards, you know, really galvanized that team to be a better force. I mean, of course they were never a force, but you know what I'm saying. They played better under Russ. And, you know, everybody speaks highly of him. Bradley Beal, you know, talks about how good he was as a teammate.
Well, wanted to kind of get your perspective on Russ. What was your experience with him? One, he's an amazing teammate. He's complete opposite of like kind of the picture everybody kind of paints him to be. You're his teammate, he rides for you. Once you're on the other team, like even if you're his boy, he's like, I don't rock with you. And that's what he's all about. Even the staff, like it's a respect factor from top down.
And what he brought, the energy that he brought to the team, you know. Then Houston. Go to Houston though, different story. You know, it wasn't a good time in Houston with Russell Westbrook. He didn't mesh with him. We all thought, you know, you're going to bring him back with James Harden. But James Harden was the guy now, you know, as when they were on OKC together, James Harden was a six-man, you know. He wasn't the guy yet. But now you come and bring Russell Westbrook to James Harden's teams, and it just didn't work. LeBron and Westbrook, it just didn't work. And I never thought it would work, really, because I'm like, these guys are the same player. Very ball dominant, you know, must have the ball in their hands to make something happen. And it just wasn't the right situation. Now, of course, on paper, when you look at the names, when you look at Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron, it seems to make sense, man. But, dude, so many shots off the backboard, so many turnovers and bad passes, missed layups. You know, from a guy who used to be like a finishing monster. Like, Westbrook's time in L.A., man, I thought that was going to be the end of him, man. I thought, like, that was going to be what takes him out of the league. And it almost did, it seemed like. He redeemed himself with the Clippers, though, especially in the playoffs when Kawhi went down, you know, which that's what Kawhi does. He always ends up not playing. King Street clothes himself, not Anthony Davis. It's Kawhi. Kawhi is King Street clothes. But Russell Westbrook stepped in, and man, he really had a great series against Phoenix. Against Phoenix, he had a great series. He put the pressure, you know. With little personnel, he still was able to make every game competitive. So on one end, I'm trashing Russell Westbrook for his boneheaded mistakes. But on the same token, man, Russell Westbrook has a lot of upside to him as well. It's just that in some of these situations, I mean, it is what it is. But let me know what y'all think. Like, I'm glad that Denver took up for Russell Westbrook, you know, and Jokic, you know, had good things to say about Russell Westbrook.
To Russell after the game, are you going to talk to him about how things ended at all?
Why? I mean, it happened. It's basketball, you know. I'm pretty sure that he didn't want to make foul or whatever, so it happened, you know. He had the best, probably, I say, thoughts. You know, it happens.
And, you know, they're supporting him. And he does deserve the respect from other people, but we all know that Russell Westbrook gets into these modes where he wants to, you know, go at the fans when he does something stupid, just like he did the other night, you know, running back, talking to the fans because they were saying something to him. And, bro, you just got to take your L and keep it moving. You know, you messed up. You did something stupid like you usually kind of do. And, you know, just own up to it. It is what it is. But Dual Season Hoops, it's your boy Carl Anthony, back for more. Peace.